Well, hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm Renee and I have been so busy these last 3 days. I have got my outdoor kitchen done, so tomorrow I'm going to show you that. And within just a few days we're going to start cooking out there. So you're going to see the outdoor kitchen. You're also going to see the greenhouse. That's all ready, but man, I'm telling you, I've been so busy and now we need to do a little meal prep. I need to catch up. So anyway, we're going to do I got to make some chicken fajita kits, and I've done that many times. And I'm going to do some shrimp fajita kits. And I got some breakfast sausage because we like potato soup. And I like to put little sausage balls in our potato soup. And I love this breakfast sausage that I get from my local butcher because I don't have to season it. I don't have to do anything with it. Just roll it in balls and cook it and it's all set to go. Already seasoned. I love it. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to get these cooking because while these just set aside and cook slow, I can go ahead and get the fajitas all done. And this can get messy. It's not too bad. Now, if you can only get like ground pork, you can do a beautiful seasoning in it. Or you can, just season it when you make your soup. But I like this. I love this stuff. I also like when he makes he'll make this into links. So I'll cook the links, and then I'll chop them up and put them in the freezer so that I can just take a bag out and whip it in our potato soup. It's wonderful. I'm going to put just a dot of oil in there. And I'm going to put a little bit of oil on my hands. We're going to turn this on. All right. Because this stuff is real sticky. Now, we don't like real big meatballs, so I'm only going to make them probably the size of a walnut. And we're going to put them in there. In fact, you know what? Let me wash my hands. I've got perfect scoop for these. This will make it a little bit smaller, but we're going to spray this. This will make them a little bit smaller than the walnut, but it'll be good. And I got to turn it down just a little bit. All right, so here we go. Perfect, because they don't need to be completely rounded. That's perfect. That's all I'm going to do, and that really is a good size. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw them in there. Just like so, and they'll be good. And no, I don't put any eggs or breadcrumbs in them because I just want the plain sausage. So I'm going to get all these in this pan, and I'll show you how many I get. These will be nice to have for make ahead. You can even do this with your meatballs for spaghetti or in any dish really, but I like doing this for our soups, and not just potato soup, but that is our favorite to have the sausage in. I love working outside and getting everything put together for the summer, the spring cleaning outside, but man, I get so behind on everything, and it's been cold. It was 40 degrees the last few days, so, of course, in Michigan, we can handle that. But now today it's snowing and it's 33 degrees. There's nothing you can do outside with that. And the greenhouse, I don't even want to go out in there until, let's see, midweek it's going to start getting in the 50s and the 60s. So that's when I start planting. All right, so I'm going to get all these. I may have to do a couple batches. I don't know. But I'm going to get all these going. And then I'll see you back here when we get ready to do our fajitas. And we're just going to let these cook. And yes, I cook them completely. Even though they go in soup, I cook them completely. So I'll see you back here in a minute. Okay, friends, these are doing nicely. I'm just going to let them cook fairly slow here. And just keep turning them so I get all sides brown. And then I'll let them drain on a piece of paper towel, and then we can package them up for the freezer. And they'll be wonderful. Perfect. They're all looking good too. Give them a flip. Beautiful. Perfect. So with that, I'm just going to take and scoop them out onto this paper towel so they can drain and cool. They're wonderful. And then I'm not going to do a second batch. I'm going to make a couple nice patties. And Mr. Wayna can have a sandwich with them, you know. These are, whoops. Okay, so we're just going to leave those spread out. And that'll be nice for a couple pots of potato soup. I'll put them right on the back of the stove. Now, I got these 4 patties we're going to put in here. And we're just going to let them cook while we get our fajitas put together. Okay? Beautiful. That's it. All right, that can sit right over there. And those will cook slow. Okay, now our fajitas. My chicken. I knew I was going to be busy, and I knew I didn't want it to sit in the fridge, and I didn't want to unthaw it and, you know, take the time to unthaw and refreeze it, which you can do as long as you don't thaw it out in the microwave. So I sliced my chicken breast in strips and froze it in the bags that I was going to make my fajita kits in. So that's where we're at, and it's still frozen in the bottom, and that's all right because my onions and my peppers are froze too, and it wouldn't matter anyway. But this just makes it go really fast, and I love it. All right, now what I'm going to do before I do anything, I'm going to get my fajita seasoning. Now, I've made it many times, and I'm not going to show you because I make it all the time. I'm just going to list the recipe in a description box. And if I can link a video to making the fajita seasoning, I'll link it somewhere, whether it be up here in the video or in the description box below. Okay, friends, now I got my fajita seasoning. I'm going to put a good tablespoon, maybe even 2 in each one. I'm just going to do 1. But you know what I'm going to add to that? And I just thought of it. It would be wonderful. I got some beautiful Cajun seasoning. I'm going to put a little bit of that in with this. This Cajun seasoning is divine. Oh, we're going to put about 3/4 of a tablespoon in there. Just a scant tablespoon. This will be good with my shrimp too. Beautiful. You can mix like that. It's okay. My family will love that. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and put our veggies in here. I'm just going to put that entire one in there. Then I've got colored peppers over here. I'm going to divide between the 2. Turn that down. My patties are cooking nicely. I'm going to put a few green peppers in here. There we go. Perfect. Now, we've got nice sliced onions, too. We're going to load these up. These kits are so nice to have. They're ready for the grill, too. I cook these on the grill quite a bit in the summertime, and they're so good. Couple nice big handfuls of onions in there. They're wonderful. There we go. That's it. I better put just a little more in this one. Okay. That is it for these. Then I can label them. Get all the air out. And see those beautiful fajita kits? The meat, the meat, the seasoning, the veggies. It's wonderful. And then when these sit in your, well, you could cook them from frozen, but if you sit and let them thaw out in your refrigerator, that spice will do a little marinating in that meat and it'll be wonderful. Of course, mine never gets to that point because I whip it out of the fridge because I'm in a hurry, or whip it out of the freezer and take it right to the grill or the sheet pan, whatever I'm cooking it in. Perfect. Absolutely. My bag wants to seal. Come on. There we go. We got it. Make sure. Oh, we got it. Okay. Perfect. We got 3 fajita kits ready for the freezer. Now we're going to do our shrimp. Remember I showed you I got this at Pineview. This great big beautiful 3-pound bag of fantail shrimp. It's raw, but it's all peeled. There's no tails, no nothing on it. Beautiful for $12.99 for 3 pounds. That's beautiful price. We're going to make that into fajitas as well. So let's get this ready. I got my bags labeled for this already. And I'm going to make 3 out of this. A pound of shrimp. It's quite a bit of shrimp. Especially for fajitas. So we're just going to divvy this bag up between these 3. And that'll be wonderful. And I'm going to season it the same way. And I'm going to put a little extra Cajun seasoning in these because it's wonderful that way. I want these all good and even, and this one needs more. So does this one. Beautiful. That one's got a lot in there. I'll put the last little one in there. Perfect. Now you could measure them if you want. Weigh them. I'm not doing that. I just made them look even. Good. All right, so now those are our spice. I got ahead of myself. We don't want to forget our beautiful spice. Okay, here is our good tablespoon of fajita seasoning. I'm going to do like a heaping tablespoon. Now I'm going to put our Cajun. Oh, that stuff smells wonderful. That Cajun seasoning is divine. We're going to put a nice heavy tablespoon in here. That'll taste so good. Beautiful. Okay. Now we can get our veggies in there. I'm going to divide this between the three so they all have a little bit of green pepper in there. Okay, perfect. Then I got some orange peppers that are going to go in there. Nice big handful. Okay. Nice bunch of onions. These will be nice when we're outside or I'm in the greenhouse planting. We can just throw these right on the grill and they'll be wonderful. Let me get that a little bit more. All right, that's good. Let me get the scragglies off the counter here. And these are wonderful. My fingers are froze for onions. Look at how beautiful. With the shrimp in there. You can see the fantail shrimp. I can't believe that price. So for $12.99, you know, $13, you can afford to have this for a treat now and then. This is going to feed probably 4 people. So there's, let's see, yeah, this will feed at least 4 people. Maybe 3. We'll say 3. So there's 9 meals in here for $13 of shrimp. You can't beat that. You're not going to get 9 meals for $13 out of shrimp normally. So beautiful. I love that. All right, friends. I'm knocking everything off my counter. Our fajitas are done. You know what, friends? I'm going to go ahead and make potato soup, but I'm going to do mine on the stovetop and just let it simmer. It's going to be on the lowest setting to start out with, just like a slow cooker. But I'll show you how easy this is to make, especially with our homemade potatoes O'Brien. And it's frozen right in the freezer, right out of the freezer. Okay? I do this a lot. And you could probably even, you'd have to check with your manufacturer on your crock pot, but most of them that I've used, I can put frozen stuff in there and start out frozen. Now there's no saving these bags because you'd never get this out without thawing it out. And that's okay. So, I don't need to add onions, potatoes, or peppers, or anything to this. But before this is done, we'll go ahead and put in some of our sausage meatballs. They'll be wonderful in here. As I do a little bit of my homemade stock. This really is homemade, the whole thing. Oh, that chicken stock smells lovely. I'm going to get another one. Because those potatoes, they're only partially cooked. They're just blanched. So they'll give off a little bit of liquid too. There we go. Beautiful. I'm going to put just a little bit of olive oil. Just a little bit. I probably wouldn't have to because there's enough fat in my stock. We're going to do a couple teaspoons of salt in here. Potatoes like salt, remember, and there's no salt in my stock. So, and I'm going to put a couple teaspoons of pepper in here because we love our pepper. And then I don't do anything else until it's closer to being done. And that's when I'll go ahead and thicken it, put our sausage in there, use a little heavy cream. Oh, it'll be wonderful. So my lid's going on. This is going to go on my stove, on my farthest burner over. You can see that right here. That's my simmering burner. We're going to turn that on, and we're going to turn it all the way down. Well, maybe on 2. And that's going to just simmer all day. It's 12 o'clock, so that'll be ready about 5 o'clock. I'll be able to finish that up. Okay, friends. I just took this off the burner from a simmer. So, what I'm going to do, and I took a little bit of the broth out of there because I'm going to add some heavy cream to this. Okay. And we like our potato soup pretty good and thick. So I probably won't be putting a whole lot more in there. I might put some more. Look at those beautiful pieces of sausage meatballs. Those are wonderful. Okay, I'm also going to put a little more pepper in here because Lord knows we like pepper. Okay, beautiful. Look at that. Now I'm going to bring this up to a light boil. And then I've got a cornstarch slurry here because we like it. Some of you might like it just like it is now, but we like it a little bit thicker. So I'm probably going to put a couple of my ladles of broth back in here, and then I'm going to use my cornstarch slurry. Now I just did a couple tablespoons of cornstarch with some water, and that'll thicken it up more for us the way I want it. So let's go ahead and put a couple of these back in. There we go. That's good. Now we're just going to let that come to a boil. Okay, friends, our soup is starting to boil a little. You can see that. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to pour just a little bit of this in here because it'll thicken almost immediately. There we go. Actually, I want to use my other spoon. Now that's nice. Now that'll thicken up beautifully. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat off because it is boiling. It's just a light boil that you can stir it down. But I'm going to leave the heat off. I'm going to leave the lid right back on it until I'm ready to serve it. Well, okay, friends, there we have it. We did our shrimp fajitas, our chicken fajitas. We did our meatballs, our breakfast sausage meatballs for our potato soup. And I showed you how to make a potato soup out of our homemade potatoes O'Brien, using everything homemade because we used our own homemade stock. And these soups turned out beautiful. So I'll list all the recipes in the description box. Thanks for hanging out with me in the kitchen, friends. You all have a wonderful night. I'll see you in the next video. And as always, thanks for watching.